Hi, I'm Clever Ghoul, but you can call me Nikki. Welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I wanted to address my absence over the last 2 weeks. I am from and live in Los Angeles, and we are currently going through some devastating wildfires. Entire communities that I grew up in and around are now gone. Places that I spent countless hours of my childhood are now nothing but ash. I'm okay and my family's okay, but we did evacuate, which is why you haven't seen me in the last 2 weeks. I am incredibly lucky to be back in my home, and I'm so grateful. But over 200,000 people were forced to evacuate, and many of those people have little or nothing to go back to. If this channel was monetized, I'd be using any money that was made on this video and donating it. However, that's not the case. So I'm asking all of you to help if you can. If you're not in a place financially to donate, that's completely 100% fine, and I totally understand. Don't worry about it. All I ask is that you help share any information to help get donations in to those who need it most. I do have links in the description box, and I appreciate any help, even if it's just sharing that information to other people you know. Thank you so much for listening and for any help that you can send. It's really hard to pivot from something so devastating into crafting, which may feel frivolous right now, but crafting and creating is never something to look down on, especially now in a time of so much heaviness. It is how we show up for ourselves and bring ourselves joy in a time of darkness and despair. And joy is an act of self-care as well as an act of resistance. So with that in mind, I want to give you all a really easy craft where you can turn your brain off, maybe put on a movie, get together with friends, and just help connect you to your joy and self-expression. So today we're making boot or shoe charms. I made these for my docks, but you could make them for your sneakers or even for a purse or backpack if you wanted to. With all that being said, let's get into it. For materials, you'll need the following: 2 pairs of pliers, jump rings and lobster clasps, 2 or more pre-made chains. I bought a bracelet chain and an anklet chain at my craft store, but the anklet chain ended up actually being a bit too small, so I would recommend getting bracelet chains if you're getting pre-made chains. An assortment of charms, beads, or anything else that you want to attach to these chains, and lastly, whatever shoe or boot you're going to be attaching these to. First, pull out your pre-made chains and lay them out and see where you want them to go. Next, I added a lobster claw clasp with a jump ring onto the opposite end of each chain, so now there's clasps on either end of the chain. Then I took jump rings, slipped them onto my boot laces, and then tied those laces together before taking that clasp, clipping it onto a jump ring on one side of the boot, wrapping it around the boot, and attaching the other clasp onto the other jump ring so that it hangs around the ankle. Now this is great because you can just take these chains off completely and they have the jump rings on the end. You just slip them onto the laces to tie them on, or you can take them off if you don't want to wear them that day. Now I attached the second chain, which was smaller than my first chain. So instead of attaching it to those jump rings around the laces, I clipped it onto the chain that I just added and draped it along, getting it to hang just how I wanted to. Once the chains were positioned how I wanted them, I started to pull out charms and lay them out on top of the boot around the chain to see where I wanted everything to go. Then I pulled out jump rings, opened them with the pliers, added on the charm, and then looped the jump ring onto the chain and closed it so that everything was securely attached. I repeated the process going around both chains until I liked how everything looked. Then you can repeat this entire process on your second shoe or boot so that you have charms on both shoes. And now that we're done, it's time for the reveal. Here they are. I'm so happy with how they turned out. I think they're really fun and add a little something extra to an outfit. I also love how easy this project is and how you can kind of turn off your brain, just chill out a little bit and add charms that mean something to you onto these chains. For me, I love the moon, so she had to be on there. I also thought the locket was slightly unexpected for a boot charm, so it just felt like a fun addition. I enjoyed adding little pops of color with the heart, the butterfly, and the key, just to kind of add a little something. I didn't add chains to my second boot, but I did want to add on this cool pendant. Unfortunately, I was out of pre-made chain, but I did have some scrap chain from a previous project. However, these chains are so tight and tiny that you can't fit a jump ring on them. So instead, I pulled out some fishing line, threaded it through, added lobster clasps on either side with the fishing line, and then put on the pendant and attach them together so it can just hang like a pendant necklace would, except on the back of your boot. Again, making another removable charm, but just in a different location. I also like that my boots aren't matching. I just wasn't feeling matchy-matchy for this project, but if you are, absolutely go that direction. I love that. This project is all about playing and making something that feels right for you, so the possibilities are endless and I absolutely love that. Speaking of, how would you approach this project? Would you go for gold, silver, black, some other color of chain? And what kind of charms would you use? Would you go for a theme or would you go for more of a hodgepodge like I did? And would you add in color or would you stay in one metal? I would love to hear your ideas, so let me know in the comments. Again, I know times are tough right now for a lot of us, but tapping into your creativity is such a good way to reconnect to yourself yourself as well as your community. And this is a project that you could do with friends, family, or even your neighbors. And if you happen to be doing this project solo, just know that I see you and I consider you a part of my crafting community, so you're never really alone. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!